Hi Mila, good to see you at my podcast Future Proof.
Thank you for inviting me.
Today we're going to talk about sustainability. What topics come to mind?
Yes, let's talk about sustainability being a value driver. Let's talk about green software technology and the importance of IT security and privacy and taking care of our people.
Many great topics. Looking forward to the discussion. Welcome to the Future Proof podcast, a podcast in which we explore the trends of the future in the financial services industry. And my name is Carsten Wengel, and today I have the honor to talk with Mila Arsoska about the topic of sustainability. Hello, Mila.
Hello.
Mila, you are the head of Center of Excellence Sustainability at G+D Netcetera. In that capacity, you do much more than just looking after compliance, right? It's about defining programs that inform, for example, how we use green software in industries, how we are making sure that data privacy and protection is taken care of, and how also we take care of our people. Is that about correct?
Yes, we need to see sustainability as more than just compliance. We need to see it as a driver for creating value. And this is what we are doing through our sustainability strategy. We are defining goals which are measurable, which are specific and time-bound, which will allow our stakeholders to transparently track our progress, but also we defined goals to create value, not just within our company, but also for our clients and for our partners.
And here's where I would like to ask actually my first question, Mila, because as you say, sustainability is relevant for almost everyone. Here we are looking in the financial service industry. And it has, however, over time become more like a buzzword. And you could even see the words of greenwashing around the time, right? And I wonder really how we come from that perspective to creating really value and have a real life impact even on the world. How do you see that?
Sustainability indeed has become a buzzword because the world is waking up to the climate crisis and to the social and to the governance challenges and issues. And we are seeing this through the more strict sustainability regulatory requirements, but also in changes in behavior of the consumers. The consumers are becoming more aware and they care deeply about sustainability. And this is pushing the companies to reshape the way that they operate, to implement significant cultural and operational changes. So in a way, sustainability is pushing the companies and the financial institutions to not just adopt, but to contribute significantly into creating this more sustainable financial ecosystem.
And I think that the public has a very fine sense of saying, okay, is this really just you're putting something on your marketing webpage on sustainability, so just to say we are all in, and others who say we are really driving an impact and here we can prove it. So there's a tendency, would you say, to a fact-based approach on sustainability, and how do the companies do it?
Absolutely, because the skepticism around greenwashing is here and it's here to stay. And I believe it's a good thing because it pushes the companies to move beyond just making statements and claims about sustainability and to show real progress and tangible actions. And through our sustainability strategy, we are doing this. We are defining goals that will allow our stakeholders to transparently track our progress. And our goals are part of our sustainability report, which is also publicly available on our website. So this supports our approach to transparency.
If I come back to this fact-based approach, would you say there's a couple of examples from your experience where, for example, energy consumption going down or CO2 footprint going down is becoming real?
Absolutely. So the sustainability regulatory requirements require companies to monitor, to report, and to reduce their carbon footprint. With our goal that we set to become net zero carbon company, we already have a success as we managed to reduce our carbon footprint by almost 30% from our baseline from 2022. But through our software solutions, through the green software solutions or other sustainability products that we have, we are also supporting our clients and partners to do the same, to help them on their decarbonization journey.
And you also said it's much more than just the environmental topic, right? The S is the social, the G is the governance topic. Do you see this also happening in the financial service industry, that this becoming much more now a topic where banks, insurances, financial industries are looking after?
Absolutely. I think the biggest misconception around sustainability is that the main focus is on the environmental responsibility. And while the environmental aspect is indeed an important one, especially for the financial institutions, we need to look from the other topics under the umbrella of sustainability, especially IT security and privacy, which for the financial institutions are not just expectations, but they are critical requirements. The financial institutions, they operate in a highly regulated environment, and they need to ensure their consumers that their data is being handled with the highest level of security and privacy.
However, data privacy and protection is not something new, right? It was there even before ESG was coming up to screen. But has there been a change? Has the focus, Mary, from the regulators also been more intense on these topics since then?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, the financial institutions, they operate in a highly regulated environment, but then there are also the consumers. And for them, it is also important how their data is being handled. So anymore, it is not only important that the financial institutions comply with the regulatory requirements, but the consumers tend to prioritize companies who comply with also other industry recognized certifications and standards. So embedding these security and privacy principles into the sustainability strategy, into the software solutions, and achieving compliance with the regulations, but also additional industry recognized certifications and standards ensures the trust of the consumers.
Now, you mentioned also this is all happening in an ecosystem, right? So one is a supplier to the other, which is a supplier to the next one, and so forth. How is ESG then actually measured also from a compliance and auditable perspective? Because you have to look at very different things here in order to subscribe to the compliance, no?
So the sustainability is becoming regulated. There are new emerging regulations that are coming up that are affecting not just the financial institutions, but the companies in general. And it's the European Corporate Sustainability Directive, it's the European Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, and the EU taxonomy. So this is all affecting the companies to report the sustainability data in a standardized way, but also to ensure limited assurance of the reported data, because the goal with these regulations is to ensure transparency, to prevent greenwashing, and to also make sure that the reported data is reliable.
Wow. So quite a lot of effort also on documentation and being compliant as we have in compliance,
Yes.
right? Okay, let's switch to another topic, because you mentioned in your intro the topic of green software and also what is currently embedded also in solutions into the financial service industry. Can you elaborate this a little bit for us?
Yes, absolutely. Green software, in essence, is an environmentally sustainable software solution, meaning it is energy efficient, it emits the least possible carbon emission throughout its whole life cycle through intentional design choices in the code, in the architecture. So, in essence, by being more or less energy demanding, the green software solutions contribute to the clients not just to reduce their carbon emissions, but also to reduce operational costs. And we prove this, we confirm this by our carbon life cycle assessment that we did on our product, Click to Pay. And the results were really astonishing, because it was stated that by implementing green software principles and practices and some other additional sustainable behaviors, we can achieve a reduction on the product, on the carbon emissions by 13% and the operational costs by 20%. So this was really interesting results to see.
Impressive. And if you then consider this is embedded into the software, but the software always is run in a data center or with a hyperscaler, as in today's world, like Amazon or Microsoft and so forth. And I hear that also they are basically looking now into zero emission, providing of their data center capacity. So altogether, would you say we are on a good path when it comes to CO2 reduction in the IT?
In the IT, absolutely. And the interesting thing is that through technology, we have the power and we have the capacity to leverage sustainability and to support the green transition.
Mila, there are also external bodies that really audit the development of sustainability standards in companies. Can you explain a little bit what we did here?
So there are external ESG rating agencies that rate companies on their sustainable practices and efforts. And we were also rated by EcoVadis, which is an external independent ESG rating agency. And we were thrilled this year to obtain the silver medal, which is a true testament to our commitment to sustainability and to measurable progress.
So that's a great achievement, and I think we can be very proud of this. Now,
absolutely.
And how do you see it in the financial service industry? What are the companies who rate then banks or insurances? Are there similar ones?
Yes, absolutely. There are many ESG rating agencies on the market, and maybe not just specifically for the financial institutions, but there are different ESG rating agencies. And also there are some that have a specific scope, like the Carbon Disclosure Project, which evaluates companies on their environmental data.
And especially if you are a publicly listed company, I think it becomes even part of your really reporting to your stakeholders, right?
Yes.
So it is becoming a real life value. I think we can say that, no?
Absolutely.
Is it important still that the regulatory bodies push this a lot, or do you think it's going to be now self-motivated going forward?
So at the beginning of this year, the European Commission issued the Competitiveness Compass, and they put at the focus of the strategy sustainability and decarbonization. And on the topic of sustainability, the idea was to streamline the different regulations like the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, the Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, and the EU taxonomy. And the idea by streamlining this different regulation is to reduce the compliance burden on the companies. So I would say that in the future, maybe the scope of the reporting will be reduced. So companies will need to report on fewer data points, but still companies will need to report in a standardized way. They will need to provide even limited assurance in their reported data.
And I guess that's the main tension or field of tension, because you always have the cost of being compliant, right? And I think the regulatory needs there have increased cost of doing this reporting quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine. Mila, thank you for this. And now I really have a personal question to you, because your role, head of sustainability in our company, is a very special one, and not many people can do this. And I really wonder, what makes you personally drive into this topic? What motivates you?
For me, it all comes down to creating real impact. It's about changing my mindset from do no harm to one where we are supporting the economic, the environmental, and the social systems to heal and to thrive. And for me, it's more than just compliance. It's about innovation, it's about creative thinking, and if we leverage technology, we can create a more inclusive and sustainable digital world.
Right. And I can really see how you burned for this topic. And I have to say also the way you communicate about it, it makes it special and fascinating. And people would like to work with you, I can also imagine. Or how do you see it in G+D Netcetera?
At G+D Netcetera, I would say that collaboration is what drives our progress. So I'm surrounded by people which are experts on different topics. We continuously work closely. We share knowledge. We challenge our perspectives. And I think this is what gets us going, what puts us on the right path, and what drives our progress.
And you do this also with customers, so also outside, and that's also important, no?
Yes, that's also important. So it really is important to engage with the clients and with the partners to see where we can support them to reach their sustainability goals and targets. But also, let's not forget about our suppliers. It is really important to also reach out to our suppliers and to align our sustainability goals. So it's not just about creating value within our company, but really creating value in the broader ecosystem that we are part of.
It's a full ecosystem plan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mila.
It's a shared responsibility.
Absolutely. Hey, Mila, that was great. Thanks for sharing your experience in sustainability today with us at the podcast. Great having you here.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure being here.
And if you enjoyed this podcast too, like and subscribe, and see you soon again. Future Proof. Take care.
Hey, Carsten.
Oh, hi Mila.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see
doing
you.
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Hey, shall we talk about sustainability today?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Take a
Yeah.
podcast.